Greetings, my friends. Welcome to the Maybe Pile podcast, hosted by me, Kiryoku, and Mummified Tony. How are you doing, Tony?
Like a finely, lightly fruited, carbonated beverage, I am feeling crisp and clean.
Yay, that is awesome. I'm not doing too bad myself. I actually just got a haircut recently, so I feel all, clean and stuff like that. I got, the full treatment, the shampoo and stuff like that. It feels amazing. I got, 4 inches off. Huh. And my hair is still over my shoulder, so...
I remember seeing you at BabsCon. You definitely had some good length on you.
Yeah, and I like it that way, and I got, very bushy eyebrows. I need to get my eyebrows done here at some point.
Oh, yeah? Is that something you also
I need to
get lined up?
I need to get that done as well. I didn't even know. I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, holy crap, I got caterpillars. So I got to get those off of there.
And then one day they shall become beautiful butterflies.
They will.
They will flap, flap, flap upon your forehead.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that's half a Bug's Life or just the whole idea of a European a nature documentary narrator.
A little bit of both, maybe?
Yeah, why not?
Or it started as one and it just kind of evolved from there. That's kind of what I think of it.
I'm going to give it 90% Bug's Life, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the last time I got a haircut, at least cleaned up so I don't look like a hobo, was probably before BronyCon last year. So, for those of you not in the know, about August, or just before August of 2019, last year. And that was just so, they clean up the sides a little bit, trim up the beard so I don't look like a bum, like I said.
Yeah. Yeah, you always look great during the cons. I remember I saw you, I think the first time I saw you was during 15, and then I saw you again at 17, and then 19?
Yeah, close enough.
I missed one. I went 1 year, missed the following year, and then I went for the additional 2 years or something.
Right.
Yeah, it was great. You always look great. You always look great during
Not by accident, I will tell you that much.
Right.
I put a lot of care and effort into what I look like at a con, because Lord knows I do not want to be caught looking scrubbish or shaggy or anything like a degenerate. I want to make sure that I am above average when it comes to the average con goer. And by that, I mean,
right.
I take a shower every day.
Obviously.
Oh my god, people, it was so funny that, last year there was that whole, uprising of, people making fun of the fact that, it's okay, guys, if you're at a con, go take a damn shower. If you can afford a con ticket, you can afford a bar of deodorant. Those jokes were going on. And I was reminded of, yeah, that's kind of funny. I'm that doesn't happen at PonyCons. It's and then, I went to BronyCon that year, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. Yeah, it definitely happens here, too.
Oh, man. I don't think I was a part of that. I didn't notice. I didn't pay too much attention. I do not regret going to BronyCon whatsoever. But I will say that I don't think I participated nearly as much as I should have, especially when I wore the diamond sponsor. I didn't participate nearly as much as I think I should have.
Yeah. And
that kind of sucks, but there was only a handful of panels going on the entire 3 days I was, the con happens and I was there that I actually attend.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not to mention I'm borderline blackout drunk for one of them. So that was the writers panel with Larson and Dusty. Dusty wasn't in the first one.
Yeah.
No, that was unscripted with Peter New. That was the one I was not a part of, but that was the one I was drunk for.
Nice.
And it was hilarious. I had an entire bottle of wine, and it was the best time of my fucking life. Needless to say, the jokes were way more funnier than they should have been. And I got up to ask a question, and I guess it doesn't matter if I tell the story, would it? I don't think anybody would care. So I don't. Larson partially remembered me because it was 2018 where I did this. In 2019, obviously last year, the BronyCon, I saw Larson because we were staying in the same hotel, and I saw him on the elevator. And I was like, I seriously doubt you remember me, but I was the drunk guy that asked Peter New to suck my dick last year. And he was like, I partially remember that, yeah. It was something else.
I bet it was. There definitely is a lot of libations, I guess you could say, at these things, and as long as people aren't getting hurt or badly injured or anything like that, I'm like, all right, guys,
never.
Go nuts.
Yeah, well, the thing was, I guess I'll tell the entire story if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what happened was, I've never actually been drunk before. That was the first time I was drunk, and so that was a lot of firsts for me. First being these guys, first getting wasted, first time asking a question at a panel, everything. It was first for me completely. So I was diamond, and I don't flash it in front of people's faces because it was 2 years ago or whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. But it was the time of my fucking life, and I was gonna take advantage of that in that particular panel. So I got in early. I went straight to the open bar, and I was like, "Hey, how much for a bottle of your white wine? Because that's all I drink. I only drink white wine." And they were like, "A bottle?" I'm like, "Yeah, a bottle." And they're like, "How much is that going to be?" Because they didn't know how much a bottle was. They're like $20, $25, $30, $35. And eventually the manager comes over. He's like, $30, give him 6 glasses or, 6 of those little cups. And he's like, "There you go." And so I bought it, and I threw the glasses away, opened up the bottle, and went to my seat. And I was sitting right in the front row. And I sat down, bottle in hand, top's already off. I take my first swig, and some lady, I don't know who she was. She was up on the panel, and she looks down at me from the stage, and she's like, "Is that a bottle?" And I just raise it up in the air, and Larson raises his whatever he was drinking, and we just do like an air toast, and it was great. And the panel goes on. They're telling stories. They're telling jokes. Everybody's having a hell of a time. And since it was a 21 plus panel, everybody was just going wild. And they're like, "Okay, everybody, let's just get this out of the way." My dehumidifier just turned on. They're like, "Okay, everybody, let's just get this out of the way. Everybody shout penis as loud as you can." So like Larson is just like leading the charge, like 1, 2, 3, penis, and everybody's like yelling penis. And so towards the end of the panel, they start lining up for questions and anecdotes and stuff like that. And I get up from my seat and I waddle my way to the back of the line. And I get up to the microphone and I'm like, "Hey, will you guys be available for autographs after the panel?" And I am slurring. I pounded half the bottle within this hour that the panel is going on. I pounded half the bottle. And I try to get it out. I'm slurring, and I'm just not speaking right, and it sucks because everybody's eyes are on me, and it stinks. It was funny as hell though, and I eventually try to get it out, and eventually I shout, "Shit, I'm fucking drunk," into the mic, and everybody just explodes in laughter. And Larson stops me. He's like, "Wait! You're not asking a question about penises?" So I lean right into the mic, and I'm like, "Well, will you suck my dick?" And it was either Larson or Peter New that said that, and I lean in and I say that, and everybody's just on the floor. And it was Peter New I asked that to, and Larson's like, "Well, answer the man, Pete." And I just waddle my way back to my seat, and it was the best night ever.
Yeah, we all have. I bet you could probably get a good story out of like everybody who regularly goes to cons about how they got like shit faced at some party or whatnot. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean it's almost like an extension of like the quote unquote college experience that some people like kind of talk about in sort of retrospect. It's like, yeah, all right, a bunch of frat parties or whatnot, going out, having to do whatever, but at nighttime hitting up the pub crawl and just going ham, What I love about the con that's coming up in a couple months for me is the fact that BabsCon has a dedicated second floor party floor, and all the drinks you want, absolutely free. You just gotta show your ID, and I'm just like, hell yeah, let's do it. The only downside to this whole thing is the fact that none of the rooms have like strong enough AC units that they can like combat having 50 people in a room, So you gotta like dress a little bit, more skimpily than normal. And I take full advantage of that as well.
That is a wonderful combination.
Anybody who's seen me, well, it would be a lovely conversation if like it was more evenly dispersed when it came to the typical con guest, other than, your typical, male brony. It's like, all right, well, I mean, if you like guys, sure, it's going to be like all you can get out there, but at the same time, it's like, if you like the female variety, then you're like, there's not so much that.
Okay. Oh, man. I hope you have a great time at Babs.
Oh, I for sure. I am going to make it my mission to be able to go to a con, not have that many connections there, and still be able to find some way of entertaining myself, because Lord knows half the people that I actually, hang out with at a con aren't actually going to that. So I'm just like, all right, well, let's try our best and try to make it work.
Right. So you're saying you want to try and solo it?
Well, I am. I mean, I don't have a choice in the matter.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, all right, well, none of my like major cosplay friends are going to be there. None of my like hard party friends are going to be there. So I'm just like, all right, I'll figure it out. I'll do something.
Hey man, just give her a go. I mean, if I was available,
that's what I plan on doing.
I would take you up on that. But
I plan on giving her a go, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Guy talk. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, just please plug the podcast every chance you get.
Of course, I do have 2 panels that I am confirmed for out that
That's
way,
great.
And I am going to try my best to sort of talk about it. It's like, yeah, you all know me for this. Well, guess what? Go check out this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get a little bit of viewers, but I see our videos are actually averaging around 10 views a video, and that is something that we didn't have before. So I'm happy about that.
We are, in fact, growing.
Yes, we are indeed. And a couple of my real-life friends regrettably found out about it, but that's okay. They're supportive nonetheless. I was originally going to be like really embarrassed if they found out, but they're like, "Oh, dude, I think it's hilarious. You guys do a lot of funny stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, comedy was never actually the intention, but if they get a laugh out of it, hey, I'm not going to complain."
Right.
All right. So I think there's something you probably want to talk about.
I think there's more something that you want to talk about.
So I was going to do your whole movies thing, but if you want me to tell the story about the ambulance station, I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, okay, so to lay it up for the people at home, Kay tweets me, sends me a DM at Sunday, this last weekend, the 1st of March, and tells me, "Oh, I am pissed. Remind me to tell you the story of my dad at the ambulance station on Tuesday. Tuesday being today, our recording day. And I am curious, Kay, as to what the story can be about your dad at an ambulance station could possibly be."
Okay, so my dad, he is an EMT, so he works there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, mass respect to him. And actually, today was his birthday. He just turned of age, of a certain age. He's not quite qualified for the senior discount, but congrats to him. Yay!
Yeah.
So now I can actually call him the old man. So anyway, he works there. He's an EMT, and he's great at it. And I was a ride along for a while, so I had some field experience. I talked about that here previously, but I'm not here to talk about that. One of the things that is regrettable, and this is just the human condition, is that no matter what occupation you're in, no matter what, you're always going to have fucking assholes to work with. It does not matter what occupation you're in. It doesn't matter if you're an EMT, if you're a fucking dishwasher like I used to be for 2.5 years. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't fucking matter what you do. I'm sure even surgeons get into it from now and then. Now and again. I'm sure. It doesn't matter. And so I was out there, my dad calls me up. He's like, "Hey, can you bring me my reading glasses and bring me an Impossible Whopper because my family loves those?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I know you work hard out there. Of course, I'll bring you your reading glasses and an Impossible Whopper from BK. Sure."
They're not bad.
So they're great, and they're a great way for vegetarians to cheat. So I go to BK, grab the Whopper, and grab his reading glasses, and I'm heading out. And I head out there, and I call him to let him know I'm there because you need like a card ID, I think, to get in there now or something. I don't know. So I call him like, hey, I'm outside. He's like, okay, I'll come. I'll come let you in. And I see him walk into the door through the window, and he has like his arms are like full of head blocks. It's just, I believe they're things that hold, like a patient's head in place or
like
something.
Like the little square orange things that they kind of put around a neck when they're in a stretcher?
Something like that, yeah. His arms are like carrying like 15 of these because, like the little packs that they come. He's like carrying they weren't like the orange plastic things. They're almost like gauze or something. I don't know what they were, but they were called head blocks. I don't know.
Yeah.
So he's carrying like 15 packs of these things, and he's like struggling to open up the door. And I'm just like, he's not here alone. I know he's not here alone. Where the hell are the other people? And I go inside. He finally gets the door open after he drops like 3 of them. So I pick them up for him. And I give him his Whopper. And he's like, oh, just sit in the lounge. So I sit in the lounge. And as soon as I go inside, I see this. He's like thin as a rail. He's kind of an asshole. He's sitting there vaping, of all things. Mm-hmm. He's sitting there vaping in the ambulance station lounge. And just watching a shitty Transformers movie. And I'm just thinking to myself, why are you not helping my father with all of those things in his hand? Mm-hmm. And I don't say anything about my tongue. So I'm like, hey, Dad, here's your stuff. He's like, oh, cool. Do you mind helping me move some supplies? I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm not going to complain. So I help him move supplies. And I am there for about more than an hour. I'm there for over an hour helping him, move things from point A to point B. And whatever, pulling things out of the stock room, putting them in the garage beside the ambulance, and whatever, like masks, breathing tubes, IV tube, whatever, just random shit, and it's all important. And all the while, they have like this asshole is just sitting there in the lounge, just vaping and watching Transformers, and it is just. Every time we walk by, because you have to walk by the lounge to get to the ambulance garage, and every time I walk by the lounge, I just look in, I'm like, come on, dude, you're really not going to move? And he didn't move from that one spot the entire time I was there. And so we finally finish the supplies, putting everything in its proper place. And then he's like, and then my dad's like, hey, how about you sit down and just chill for a while? You helped me, so why don't you just sit down for a bit? I'm like, yeah, of course, I'll sit down and chat for a while, sure. So we're sitting there, we're talking, and I'm like, and I try to like drop these little hints. I'm like, oh, geez, maybe I should take the EMT class so I could be stationed out here and give you some help. I'm like trying to just drop some hints, like I said.
About the fact that this guy didn't help.
Yeah, exactly. And, sorry, I know I keep repeating myself a lot.
No, I just wanted to make sure.
I
wanted to make sure I wasn't like
misunderstanding. Yeah, you got it on par. And I guess this guy was like not a recent grad, but I guess he was I guess he just finished it like recently. I guess you could say a recent grad from that particular class. Then I guess what the fuck am I talking about? Mm-hmm. Sorry, I still got my blood boiling a little bit. So. My dad's like, well, he recently did it. You can ask him about it. And he looks over at me and he goes on this fucking 15-30 minute long tangent, this rant about, oh my God, I'm not getting paid anything. People at McDonald's make more than I do. Yeah, and do you like long hours for little pay? Then jump right in. And the class sucks. It's so hard. And every time he gives an answer, I am just boiling and boiling and boiling. I am getting so fucking pissed off. And my dad's a volunteer, so let's just get that out of the way. He doesn't really make a lot. So he's a volunteer. So this guy gets paid and he doesn't. I mean, my dad gets paid like a tiny bit. I don't know how it works. He's still a volunteer, but the station gives him a little bit every now and then. I don't know how it works. I think it's something to do with taxes. Mm-hmm. I think. I have no idea. And so this guy just goes on this 15-30 minute long rant, and every time I try to say something, he just kind of grumbles, and then he gets like louder to enunciate his point, and he just keeps going on and on and on. Kind of like I am when I'm ranting here, but
No,
and
but
yeah.
there's a difference though. I mean, like he's complaining about the job that he has, and it's just like, fuck off, dude. Just if you don't like it, then fuck off. That's go on. I'll let you finish.
I mean, that's pretty much the end of it. He ranted and raved. My dad told me thanks, and I left. Because if I stayed any longer, I would probably have said something. And it was just pissing me off. And he was also like, oh yeah, man, I'm working on my second divorce right now. Gee, nobody. I'm like, oh gee, nobody wants to marry you. Shocker. Whatever. Like, geez, nobody wants to fucking marry you. You've tried twice? Oh, gee, I wonder what the problem is. But whatever. And just let it be known that you can't sue me if you know who you are and you hear this, you cannot sue me. I did not mention anybody's name, the place where the station is, my town. You don't even know if it's in my town because it's not. And, whatever. So I can't be sued. Just throwing that out there.
Well, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to data mine the audio from your track that's in the video, and then they'll find out the time code, the VPN that your firewalls, and I don't fucking know.
Nah, you can't sue shit from me. Yeah. So, yeah, so it was just apples? Fucking, I don't know. Maybe. No. Oh, fuck. Well, that's more than that guy has, I guess, from what he says.
Right.
I don't know. It just pissed me off. Like, fucking thin as a rail. Just, oh my god. Pissed me off. It's like, whatever, buddy. If people at McDonald's are making more than you, then go flip burgers or some shit. I don't really care. And I told my dad today, I was like, what the hell is his problem? Oh, and by the way, he just got married like 6 months ago, so that must have sucked. So second divorce, fuck you. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, whatever. It just sucked. And my dad was like, oh yeah. He was like, just don't pay any attention to him. He's like, just don't pay attention. He's like, the class is not that bad, and I know it's not that bad. He's like, it's harder than it used to be because they change it up like every 2 years or so. But just don't worry about it. If you want to take it, take it. Whatever. So that's my little rant about asshole at the ambulance station. So fuck you, and let's move on now.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was about to go into before, like letting you finish, is the fact that it's like I just have no patience for anybody who sits there and complains about their job. In the world that we live in, any able-bodied individual should have absolutely no problem ever like being able to guarantee themselves any sort of a job at all. It's like, if you don't like this job, well, guess what? If you live in a fairly, at least semi-decently populated city, and you don't live in the middle of dumb fuck nowhere, then you can probably just go a mile up the road and go find someplace else. I mean, that might be my own privilege talking about the fact that I live in a very large metropolitan area, Phoenix, Arizona, but it's like, just fuck off. Like, I just have no patience for that. Especially if you're sitting there complaining about somebody else making more than you. Well, fuck, go work there. Don't sit there and bitch about it. And plus, he's an EMT. For crying out loud. You don't, like, that's clearly...
You have a job anywhere.
You have a job that is established to be you're saving lives job. You have a job that's on par with, like, a firefighter or, a teacher or something like that. These are jobs that are needed in the world, and yet, people do these jobs not because it's the most glamorous or well-paid job, but because it's a good karma job. You're getting half of your pay also in, like, feeling good that you're saving lives and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, if he really wants to work in, like, another station or another district area, however they go by, whatever, then just go. Leave. You're an EMT. You have a job anywhere. If you're on the National Registry, you can get a job anywhere as an EMT.
You're a fucking adult.
Yeah, that's the big advantage right there. But like, if you're a certified EMT and you're on the National Registry, you can go anywhere and you can pretty much be employed wherever you need to be. EMTs are always going to be in demand because it's a hard job, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, rant time with K over.
Well, you know what time it is then if rant time's over?
What is that?
Movie!
Yeah!
So, everyone, I didn't get to talk a lot about the movies that I was getting down with last week on the last episode because we had our lovely guest, Igor. If you haven't seen that episode, I highly recommend that you go back and actually check it out. But this is a different episode, and I just looked at my audio, and I didn't turn enough for that but, and now it clipped as all fuck. Anyway, so, Kay, have I told you? Have I talked to you about Harley Quinn, or Birds of Prey, and the wonderful emancipation of Harley Quinn?
I don't believe so. No, please tell me.
Well, I was shocked to find out just now by looking at my AMC app and seeing that it's been changed to Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, when it used to be Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. And apparently they, after the movie came out and didn't have the best numbers, apparently they went back to actually change the title of it to be Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. And I'm like, come on. What are you doing?
I thought it was just called Birds of Prey. I knew it was about Harley Quinn and shit, but I didn't even know that her name was supposed to be in the title. I thought it was just Birds of Prey. That's all I knew it as.
Well, that clearly shows how much of a simple comic book fan you clearly are not. You basic idiot. How dare you, Kay, not know that Harley Quinn is not a bird of prey, and she never has been a bird of prey. So why? No, I'm just giving you shit.
I thought she was a lesbian.
She's at best bisexual. Okay, because clearly, actually,
I knew she had it over for the Joker, but whatever.
Actually, it does a very good job of actually, at the very beginning of the movie talking about the fact that it's like, all right, here's my story. I went to college, got my degree, became an amazing person, started dating this one guy, started dating this one girl, started dating this other guy, and eventually it was one bad relationship after the next. And then I found the Joker, but then that didn't work out, blah, 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 yada, yada. It does the whole thing where it kind of runs down the fact that it's like, okay, now I'm over it. Now I'm my own woman kind of thing. And sort of goes into that. Her telling that side of the story. So, okay. And then it's such a weird, disconnected movie. So this movie does a lot of the, hey, I'm going to tell you this story. And, suddenly this person shows up. Wait. Okay. Let me explain who this person is. Okay, so this is this person, right? And they're doing this thing. And now suddenly we're back to where I just was. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's continue. And it's like,
hey, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here.
Almost exactly. That same exact tongue-in-cheek sort of mentality when it comes to these sort of things. The entire movie, most of the movie is pseudo-narrated by Harley and sort of goes through the plot points of what's going on. But it's a couple of weeks removed since I saw this. Apparently I saw it back on February 8th, and now we're just now getting into March, and I can finally talk about it. But it's one of these things that it follows a story of...
Speak.
It follows the story of Harley Quinn, and she is trying to get out, trying to, just live on her own as away from the Joker. And she kind of doesn't tell anybody that her and the Joker are broken up, but then eventually she makes this great big statement about it. And now everyone's like, great, you're no longer with the Joker. We fucking hate you and we want you dead. So now she starts getting all these hits after her, and she's dealing with people one by one. And it's like, oh, this person's grievance, and it's sort of like a montage. It just goes bing, bang, boom, 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 boom. Next guy. Ah, fuck, I gotta run away from this guy. Ah, fuck, gotta run away from this guy. And it sort of also she gets in trouble with the Black Skull, who is also one of Batman's rogue gallery people. And he's in the hunt for this diamond that this pocket thief girl, stole from this guy who also works for him. And it's this whole thing where there's 5 different women here that all have their different stories, and it's impossible to explain what the story is, but they do a really good job at presenting it. I feel like it's a really good movie that a lot of people, if you like comic book movies, it's honestly, I think, my second favorite DC movie now.
Really?
Not including the Nolan Batman. That's something completely and totally separate. I'm talking like out of this new DC universe of movies and whatnot. Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn is actually really good.
Really? Wow. When you first started talking about it, I thought you were going to slam this thing.
No, not really. I mean, there's problems that I have with sort of advertising and the way the media is not like the media is presenting it, but like, you know what I mean, the way that it's being advertised mostly and how people are receiving it as it's a Harley Quinn movie. But I feel like the movie actually well represents the other women in Birds of Prey well enough to be like, okay, this isn't just Harley Quinn the movie. It's, you know, you have these other three women that have this thing going on, and also the girl that ate the diamond that's got to, like, they have to get the diamond back from and whatnot. It's like, okay, right. Yeah. I mean, they share screen time fairly well. Obviously, Huntress can't really share too much screen time because sort of her origin is sort of a twist at the end, kind of, not really. It's more of just an omission of more finer details that would have explained her character a little bit more. But at the very end, you're like, oh yeah, no, wait, this totally makes sense. Okay, I get it.
All right.
So
sounds like a pretty solid movie to me.
It is a good movie, and sort of in my style of telling people to go see it. I would say, obviously, you can't go out and see it in theaters anymore. I would say if you have a time to, you know, just kind of sit around and watch it on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, make a movie night out of it, kind of thing. Go ahead. It's not so much that, you know, I say it's just above playing in the background and just below go see it in the theaters, because I don't really feel like you have to see it in theaters. It's not this is a cinema movie, you know. It's a theater, it's a good movie night movie,
right?
That's where I would rank it, so to speak.
That's great. That is awesome.
Yeah, Margot Robbie actually does a really great job in this.
She the one that played Harley Quinn, I guess?
She is the one who played Harley Quinn, and if you remember from my big giant rambling from a couple episodes back, she also was in Bombshell, that movie that I was talking about the Fox News sexual assault.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She was also in that, and she was the one in the scene that I was telling you about, how it's like, yeah, lift your skirt a little bit more, and it was just like ripping my soul out of my body.
Right.
Yeah, that's the same actress.
Okay, cool, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
About you, Kay? Have you been seeing any fabulous movies or watching any television TV shows?
I do not watch television anymore. I do not.
Well, I mean, not necessarily like television, but like TV.
Mostly YouTube is my thing.
Yeah.
I mostly watch YouTube, and I mostly play video games. I don't really do a lot of cinema. I don't. And that really sucks, because I know that, I say this every episode, I'm going to have to watch that. I mean, it's all true. I don't fucking lie. You know, it is true. I do need to watch all these fucking movies, because they sound fantastic, and they look fantastic. When I see the promos when they're first coming out, they look fantastic. And Birds of Prey looked cool too. You know, but I just don't see a lot of movies. I don't want to go see a movie by myself, because I don't have any problems with dining alone. You saw that tweet. And, but seeing a movie by myself just isn't really my thing. I don't know. I prefer to be with somebody whenever I watch a movie. Just kind of a strange, what would it be? Maybe pet peeve or something? I don't know.
Quirk? Eccentricity?
Quirk. That's it. Quirk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably saw my tweet when I said that the waitresses kind of give me some weird looks every time I dine alone.
I think I actually did see that tweet. You know, I don't see a lot of the stuff that comes through my feed. Unfortunately, I do like seeing what happens, what my friends are doing on Twitter. But you know, sometimes I just miss
usually,
but I did see that. Yes.
Yeah. Usually, whenever if I want somebody to see something, I'll just at them. That's what I'll do.
Right.
I'll just at you if I really want you to see something. But I generally don't use Twitter all that much because it's just like, whatever.
Right. While I, on the other hand, it's been explained to me that apparently some people in my life, and I'm not saying they're wrong, I'm not trying to defend myself, but some people in my life have explained that they feel I use Twitter way too much, and I'm struggling to think whether or not they are correct or not. I haven't quite established an opinion of whether or not I'm like, no, yeah, I think you're right, or whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep going. I don't know. I mean, there are definitely others in the world who tweet a whole lot more than I do.
Right.
Or no.
I mean, I'm not around you like on a daily basis, so I don't really know. I mean, I'm not able to like look over and see, oh, he's on Twitter again. Oh, he's on Twitter again. I mean, I can see you like retweet things and you reply to things. You're very active, obviously. But there's nothing wrong with being very active on Twitter. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, it's just one of those things. I literally find myself doing this on Twitter. I mean, I'll browse it constantly, but I hardly ever post.
Mm-hmm.
But I will end up usually just it's like the fucking refrigerator. You open it and then you close it, then you open it right back up again, just expecting something to appear, or it's just muscle memory.
Right.
It's just muscle memory. I get that, but it's almost as if you're expecting something fantastic to appear, which on Twitter that's actually possible. Because on Twitter, one of your favorite people could tweet something out that you really like or something. You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just. I'll just go ahead real quick. I was just gonna say it applies to the human condition, whereas we love instant gratification, and Twitter can provide that for us. So you were saying?
It's more of the fact that I guess they were trying to sort of explain that it's that I share too much when it comes to Twitter, and I'm like, maybe they're right. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. But I explained it to them that I have a whack ton of personal friends who are, outside of the states for me. They're outside of my state, I should say, Arizona. And this is one of the few ways that I actually get to interact with them anymore. It's just like, this is all I have. I mean, I have all these friends from conventions that unfortunately I don't actively hang out in chat rooms. I don't actively hang out in, people's DMs and whatnot. It's just, I put it all out publicly because, hey, if you're one of my friends and this is how you want, this thing got you to engage with me, then sure.
Right. Generally, I try to stay away from groups. Like any type of chat room, chat group, whatever it is, I usually try to stay away from those because they're annoying as hell.
Mm-hmm.
If you have too many people in there, it never shuts up.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not want your phone to be going off 24/7. I don't. No. You don't. Nobody does. So if you're in a group that has like 20 people in it, or maybe even 10 people that are very talkative, it's never going to shut up. You're going to have to turn off your notifications, or you're going to have to mute that particular conversation. But the problem is, if you mute that particular conversation, you maybe check on it once a day, once every 2 days, whatever. If you do that, they're going to get pissed off at you because it's like, hey, how come you're not responding? We've been adding you and mentioning you this whole time, but you never respond. So I usually just don't go in groups. Or if it's too small, it's awkward as hell because you can post something in the group and nobody really says anything. And if it's only like 2 or 3 people, you're better off just sending it to them individually. There's really no need to have a group. So it's a mess.
Yeah. But that's the thing though. I leave. I put all of my chats, and by the way, this is kind of going to be an open thing for if I am in a Discord with anybody that it's like, oh, well, that explains why he never talks to here. I leave all of my chats as do not bother me unless someone specifically ats me in a group. It's like if nobody ats everyone or ats me personally on Discord, it's like, nope, nothing. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear about it.
Right.
And personally, it's not that I'm apathetic to my friends and their interest in what they're talking about, but there's just so many different chats that people want to add me to. I have this friend circle, I have this friend circle, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm just going to stay out of it. And then there's one group that I'm a part of that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 text channels. And I'm like,
why?
It's like there's apparently 25 and 11, so 36 people in this chat, in this server, and it's all different things, like general chat, it's art, there's memes, there's furry stuff, there's music plays, there's pet appreciation, and then there's like people talking about like the show and whatnot, and I'm like, all right, I guess, sure, but it's not for me. I'm just like, hey, if someone asks me, I'll pay attention. If not, I'm kind of okay.
Right, I can see that. I'm curious, how many people are in that particular server?
In that server, 36 people.
Okay, that kind of explains why you would have so many channels. I get that. Still think that's a little too many, but
hey, it's not my
I'm not
server.
I was gonna say I'm not the moderator. Although I seem to. I like to consider myself to be decent at creating and managing Discord servers. I manage several myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, gotta manage. The Fandom Wears one. Even though that one's private, I manage my guild Discord server, and then I manage like a couple of others. I forget the other ones. I'm just not looking at them right now. I want to create a maybe pile one. Maybe that might be nice.
Maybe pile, it'll be nice. Maybe it'll be nice. I don't know. There's a joke to be made there.
Maybe this title it. Maybe the server is okay.
Maybe server.
Maybe server. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I think we should make a maybe pile server. That'd probably be all right.
Let us know in the comments if you would like to have a Discord channel.
Yeah, go ahead. Let us know, people.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. But as far as Twitter goes, I really don't know because like I said, I don't really know. I can't look over at you personally every single day and be like, oh, is he using it again? I can't do that, so I don't know. Not that I plan to, even if I could, because that's kind of creepy. But like whenever you retweet something, for all I know, you're just getting on retweeting and then getting right back off of Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not.
Or you could be spending an hour. I don't know.
It's not the fact that the guy was complaining about. I spend too much time on Twitter. It's just, I just tweet a lot from what he said, and I'm like,
right,
that's fair. And actually looking into like my analytics and whatnot, I did apparently tweet 233 times in the month of January, which averages out to be just above 7 tweets a day. And I'm like, is that much? Like, I don't know. Is it a lot?
Over the course of a month, that sounds like actually not that much over the course of a whole month. But when you average it out to 7 times a day, that's like maybe not. I don't know. Maybe pile. I'm not sure.
Maybe, I don't know. It's just one of these things that I'm like, I have no basis to like figure out what makes sense and what doesn't. I mean, in the month of February, I tweeted 171 times, and that comes out to be roughly around just under 6 a day. And I'm like, okay, well, who knows? Like, I tweet when I feel like it. I don't when I don't. I'm just gonna keep doing whatever, and I'll just keep moving along.
Just keep doing you.
I think I will, and if I feel like I don't want to, I'll just stop. I will make this decision of my own accord.
Yeah, just see how you feel about it, man. That's all I can say. I know social media can be a great thing. It's how a lot of people make their living, which is fabulous. But then you also have, people who are just, they're kind of like Twitter mites. They just kind of hunch over the keyboard or hunch over their phone, and they're just constantly saying bullshit. So I don't know.
Well, to be fair, I'm not. I constantly say bullshit from what it feels like as well. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think a lot of your stuff is bullshit. I don't know. I'm not sure how to really continue that part. So I guess we should just move on from that because I don't really know what else to say about it.
Of course. And, do you have a topic that you would want to talk about?
More or less, I've just been hooked on a game called Conan Exiles. Me and my lads have been absolutely obsessed with that game as of late. Yeah, that's our server, the boys, and yeah, And my friend just said that off the cuff one day, and I was like, I don't know why, but I love that. He said that one day because we were playing Rainbow Six Siege, and we were playing as like the recruits, so we had like an entire team made up of recruits, and we whooped the other team's ass hardcore. We just beat the piss out of the other team. I don't know how, but we just did. Apparently, if you have like a team of recruits, they're OP as fuck somehow. I don't know, but apparently that's true. And and as soon as we got like that little victory pose, because you have like the entire team standing there if you win, and he just shouts, "The boys!" And I'm like, I don't know why that resonates with me. I'm gonna implement that into every rational thing that I can. So I just named the Conan server "The Boys," and I should be fair in saying that my friends aren't really obsessed with the game at the moment. I kind of am. I just run the server, and they're just like, well, you like it, so we'll pop on and play around with you. I'm like, hey, cool, that's great. And so we have our base in like the south, because you ever play Fallout 4?
No, I only got Fallout 3.
Okay, well, recommend it. It's a good game.
I
Fallout,
hear great things about it.
Yeah. So the way Fallout 4's map is, what is it?
A map? Yeah,
sorry, sorry, somebody just messaged me, sorry. So what happened is Fallout 4's map is it's situated in a way where you start up north, like in the far left corner, and the further down south you go, the harder the enemies get, and just the harder the game gets, the further down south you go. And Conan's like the opposite. You start off down in the south, and the further up north you go, the harder the enemies get, the more the story progresses, etc., etc. So usually I see that most people, when they first start out the game, they stay in the south, and they usually stay in, like, there's a river running through, like, the bottom of the map, and it has, like, a couple of islands in the middle of the river, and everybody usually settles there. That's, like, the noob area.
Right.
So naturally we set up shop there too, because the enemies are easy to kill, resources are rather plentiful, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And but now we have really good armor, really good weapons, we're pretty high level, and we know what we're doing at this point. We're learning more and more about the lore, and the story is starting to take us further up north. So being down south now isn't really worth it anymore, because we have to, I have to take off my bracelet, which is an insta-kill, and then respawn at our little iron gathering area, which is further up north, but not by much at all. It just saves us the walking trip, and we don't have to kill very many things. So, kill less things, but whatever. So, and we just kind of unanimously decided, hey, why don't we just move up north, like up to the Highlands, or what they're called. And we're like, yeah, sure. And we're kind of realizing now how much of a massive undertaking that is, because, like I said, the enemies get harder, and it's just a pain in the ass to get there. And we have thoroughly established ourselves down in the south. Thoroughly. We have a massive house. We have like a bunch of thralls, which are slaves, a bunch of mounts, and a bunch of pets. And we're just sitting there thinking to ourselves, how the fuck are we going to move not only all of our supplies, but all of our people and animals up to the north without losing all of them along the way? Now, we basically have to take one person or animal each at a time. So our dreams of leading an entire army up to the north, unfortunately, are smashed. We can't do that. You can only take one person per player.
Uh-huh.
So we're just going to have to try and figure this out. So we're constantly scouting places up north to build, and we think we found a place. I think the map's laid out in a grid pattern, so I believe we're going to settle in G9, which is kind of in the middle of the map. It's below the snow area, stuff like that.
You're not giving away your like secret base or anything like that, are you?
It's a private server.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I'm like, are you pretty much telling people exactly where they can come to like fuck you over? I was like, whoa, okay.
No, I'm not that dumb. I'm pretty damn stupid, but I'm not that stupid. No, okay, this is a private server. Now, if we were like playing Rust or something where it wasn't a private server. I mean, I guess you can get private servers on Rust, but
Right.
you know what I mean. If it was like my Rust account where it's like, whatever, if, no.
Uh-huh.
No, so this is all private and stuff like that. I think there's like a maximum of 4 players, and we have 4 friends that played the game, so great. Yeah, so yeah, it's just kind of the way it is right now.
Okay. I mean, sure, I guess. I can kind
of I know you don't really know what that is and all that shit, so all this thing doesn't really mean much, but
I can make the assumptions as to like what you mean by these things. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. And but I will say one more thing about the game. The tether distance is terrible.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, like I said, it's laid out in a grid pattern. I think the tether distance is like 1.5 squares away from the host. So it's not like terrible. Somebody can still go off and hunt a little bit if they want to from me because I'm the host. And they can still go off a little bit, but, it still kind of sucks because if somebody wants to go to the east over to the jungle and kill some gorillas, and the rest of us want to go north and kill spiders and wolves, well, we're going up north.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's me because I'm the host, so I do whatever the fuck I want. Everybody's literally forced to follow, but I don't use power like that because it's just a Conan server.
Right.
So, I usually just leave it up to majority, so it's whatever.
Okay, well, I guess you're being chill about it, so that's always great.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's why people don't mind me being the host. For some reason, I am. Like, whenever we have a Minecraft world, I'm the host, even though there's no tether, so that doesn't matter. But I'm usually the Minecraft host. I'm usually the Conan host. We actually recently started a playthrough of Stardew Valley as well. But I'm not the host on that one. My friend JJ is the host on that one, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I think I would assume the reason why people are okay with me being the host is because when I get invested into a game, I'm going to be on it a lot. So they really don't have to ask, hey, can we fire up the server? I want to do something. No, it's going to be a safe bet. I'm going to be on the server anyway. That's what I assume. That's why I assume nobody gives a shit. Nobody complains.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's me as of late. Just Conan Exiles,
Man, I'm trying to think of like what. Oh, I was thinking of something that I could like talk to you about video games and whatnot, but
sure.
I haven't really been playing video games. But what has happened recently is get out of here, Sparus. What has happened recently is Gearbox has made the announcement that they are finally have a date of when they're going to have. I see you, Cat. I see you. Stop
Cat
it.
attack.
Stop it. Get out. No. What did I say? Get out of here.
Cuddle time is after the podcast.
Go sit someplace else. Anyway, they finally announced that they are finally have a date for when Steam is going to carry Borderlands 3.
Ooh.
Yes, and not only that, but they also announced the latest DLC, Guns, Love and Tentacles. And then also what I'm most excited about, this is just pure win for me. So you remember way back when, I don't even know if it actually was on the Maybe Pile or if it was on the other podcast that we had where I was talking about how the exclusivity deal and whatnot between Epic Store and the Steam store might be a problem.
Okay.
So the best thing could have possibly happened right now. It is 100% your save file. Your like you're going to be able to play with each other across the two game stores. So Epic Store people will be able to play with people who have a copy on Steam. And if you did have a copy on Epic Store, your info can also be saved over and accessed on the Steam store. So
hey, that's awesome.
It's like if you bought it on Epic and you played it on Epic, but now you want to play it on Steam, all of your stuff is still there. And I'm just like, yes!
That is awesome.
I'm so happy about that fact because they have been adding in a bunch of their Twitch has been giving me a lot of free stuff for Borderlands 3 that I'm like, well, I guess it's just added to my Gearbox account. I guess it's just added to my Gearbox. Yeah, and I'll be like, I'll get there eventually. But knowing that it's not necessarily that's been adding to like an Epic store or something, and it's actually I can then access it on my Steam is super cool. And I'll finally be able to play with my 3 other friends that have no doubt beaten the game like twice already.
Hey, that's. I mean, that sucks that they've beaten it already, but hey, that's great that you'll be able to, still play with them, and you'll be able to access either or from whichever. That's so fucking great.
Yeah,
I know everybody was in like an uproar about that. They're like, "Oh my god, these exclusives are gonna wreak so much havoc." I never really cared much because I'm more of a console player myself, but whatever.
Casual.
You say that, but I have my platinums.
Hey, well, yeah, platinums on
PlayStation
a console.
I put in the work, damn it.
You say that.
Because I do.
You say that, but anyway, yeah, no, I completely and totally get it.
Yeah. Ugh. Still a little off topic, but I kind of have a little bit of the shivers because we just killed a giant spider before I got on to record.
You and your spiders, I swear to God.
I have such an arachnophobia. I have such bad arachnophobia. It is terrible. And in Conan, there's this trophy called "From What Hell Have You Crawled?" And we just got that before I jumped on here to record. And it's this massive spider that's like the size. I don't even know what to compare it to. It's fucking huge. It's got to be like 10 feet tall and shit. So I sliced it up and I killed it with two of my other friends, and here's the thing, it had like a spawn problem where it wasn't spawning in the cave at first. So I was just walking around where we gather iron, which is, for those of you who play Conan, it was around the Tower of Bats. For those of you who play Conan, and that's where we get all of our iron from. We've nicknamed it Iron Valley. So I'm walking around there getting iron, and I go down a hill and I see this massive spider crawling around, and I'm like, okay, the bracelet's coming off. I didn't run back to our base camp. I didn't run back to the house. I immediately just took off my bracelet. I'm like, nope. And I thought that was where it spawned. I just thought it was. And here to turn out, it's in this fucking cave. So instead of having the luxury of fighting this gargantuan behemoth of a fucking arachnid in broad daylight on flat terrain, we're actually supposed to fight it in a dark, dingy, spider-infested cave by torchlight. And guess who is the one that was selected to be the torchbearer? Me! So I have to stay right on this thing's ass the entire time my other 2 friends are trying to fight it, while also myself trying to get a few blows in. And here the thing is, if you have a torch, you forego the shield. So I am taking every single hit this thing throws at me. Thank God I don't play in first person. Well, actually, I think it takes you out of first person if you go into combat. I don't know. Either way, it was a scary, scary fucking experience for me. So we took that out, and you should have been with us that one night when I had this big spider, real life spider. Like it was on the floor next to my gaming chair or something, and I have this aluminum baseball bat.
Ping.
Yeah, and I literally beat it up. I literally beat like a spider to death with a baseball bat made out of aluminum. Like everybody just heard this tink, 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 and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Spider!" I'm like shouting "spider" like that, like Patrick Star did that one episode of SpongeBob. He's like, "Spiders!" Put the clip in there if you can, and if possible. I don't know if we get copyright for that or shit or whatever.
Like 2 seconds. It's fine.
But yeah, I just hit the spider like a bunch of times, and the problem was that I missed the first time, so it started crawling, and I'm like, shit! So I like started hitting everywhere around it except for the spider itself.
Right.
Then I finally landed the blow, and to make sure it was dead, I hit it like another 6 times, I think.
Right.
just to make sure it was dead. The thing was huge. I mean, for me, huge is the size of my thumbnail. That's big for me.
Oh, don't want stay out of Phoenix.
So like the Arizona spiders that are like the size of your palm or some shit, no go.
Yeah, they get pretty big out here.
Yeah,
not like what the fuck big, but like they get some girth on them.
Yeah, I know. I think I don't know what it was. I think the biggest spider in the world is what the Australian or something bird eater spider. I think is the biggest one.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's the bird eater. I'm not sure. And I'm just sitting there like, yep, I'm not gonna sleep tonight, and I need a new pair of pants. Yeah, so I beat the shit out of a spider with a baseball bat. It was kind of funny.
I love the idea that it's just like you in your room, and then all of a sudden just pink. And like that's where that. Yep, there's Kay, just killing spiders. Pink.
Yeah, what's going on, spider? Yeah, it was funny. It was hilarious, and it kind of reminds me of the time I almost beat my dad with a baseball bat by pure accident. He's an eccentric man, so he likes to do things spontaneously.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in the basement. I'm a basement dweller, whatever. And he, like I said, he likes to do things at like random sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those random things one time was coming in the basement door while I was home alone, or I thought I was alone. So I'm sitting here just doing my thing, and I hear the door. I hear like the outside basement door start to jiggle. I'm like, is that the wind? That's some pretty strong fucking wind. And I hear it open. We have to go through 2 doors to get inside. And I hear the first door open. I'm like, this can't be happening. I'm like, there's no fucking way somebody's trying to get into that basement door. And I hear the second door handle start jiggling. I'm like, I guess we're fucking doing this. So I run in, I grab my baseball bat, and my dad opens up the door. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, I almost fucked you up.
Yeah. I think you would be like, hey, right here. So I'm coming in. So you know.
Yeah. And then there was the other time, because my bedroom door, it's like a makeshift one. So it has like a little bit of space above it, and it's a really low door because the ceiling here is really low.
Mm-hmm.
So you can basically look over. You don't even have to like stand on your tiptoes or whatever. You can just look over the door. It's kind of like a bathroom stall.
Right.
And I didn't know my dad was downstairs. So I was in my room facing away from my door getting something, and I turn around, my door is shut, and all I see are my dad's eyes peering over the top of the door, looking right at me. And oh my god, I almost fucking screamed. This happens all the time. This happens way too much.
Geez Louise.
I have more stories, but I'll spare you. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know one story that I would definitely love to share with you?
By all means.
The story of how I went and did the Sonic movie. Movies!
What'd you get? What'd you think I mean?
I thought it was quite lovely. I was actually a little bit spoiled as to like the style and how to feel going into it. I was sort of like, it was explained to me that the day of, actually I was planning on going to go see it. It was like Saturday or something that I went inside. But it was explained to me that it's like, okay, if you go into it understanding that it's a kid's movie and it's going to be kind of schmaltzy and kind of like silly and fun, but not too like deep or whatever, you'll have a great time. And I'm like, okay, thank you, I guess, sure. But then I actually went in actually thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is still a fine movie. It's okay. I'm not like, you're not. The hardcore fans of Sonic obviously won't like how it does almost nothing for the actual story of Sonic, if there even is one nowadays. Like, oh my god. So the weirdest thing ever was the fact that it's like, okay, the rings are used as like portals that you gotta jump through to get to another world or whatever, and Sonic is on the run from people who want to steal this power that he has inside of him, which is like the power that allows him to go really fast. Like, this is a special power that he has, and people will hunt him down and try to take it from him. So he's a little tiny Sonic Hedgehog baby in his world, and he's being raised by this owl, and an owl that I'm pretty sure I have never seen in like any of the games. And then he's running all over the place, and then it's like, hey, were you running super fast? People will find you. And he's like, no, I'm just a kid. Nobody's going to find me. And then like an arrow comes flying through the thing, and lo and find out, a bunch of echidnas are now after him. And I'm like, whoa, okay, echidnas. Oof. This is weird. And it's like, oh, we got to run. And then like she like takes off and picks him up, and they go flying off. She catches an arrow. She's like, Sonic, you have to go on. You have to always never stop running, and like throws a ring, and he like has to go through it. And she's like, I'll never stop running. Remember this, and like the portal closes. And he's like, no, and like they're now cut off, but he has like all the rings with him, and it's like now he's stuck on this other world all alone. This other world being our world, and it's like, okay, I guess, sure,
okay.
If this is how you're going to, quote, get Sonic to the real world, sure. And so it's this whole thing about how he's been stuck in this tiny little village, this tiny little town called Green Hills, Oregon. I think it was in Oregon, or it could have been Washington, one of the two. And it's a tiny little town with like two police officers. And the one police officer that he ends up actually becoming friends with, he calls the Donut Lord, because he talks to donuts and whatnot. And it's this whole thing and blah, 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 yada, yada. And the main character guy, he's trying to get a job as a police officer in San Francisco, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And it's a whole thing. And I'm just like, you know what? If you just take it as is, and how... it's a kid's movie. It is designed to be a kid's movie, and you don't have to necessarily think too much about this. You just kind of got to hang out, sit back, and just enjoy a basic, regular old film.
I can see that. I heard the same things. It's just a kid's movie. Just take the ride. That's what I heard about it.
And honestly, there were some times where I was like, hey, that's actually kind of cool. My favorite thing about this entire movie, can I tell you about my favorite thing?
Of course.
Okay, so my favorite thing about this entire movie, do you know how at the end of like the second act, or near the end of the second act, it's always some... Wait. Kate, were you planning on doing this the whole time, Kay? Were you not going to tell me, Kay, that you were planning on leaving this whole so like what? Our friendship is just a joke, Kay? Is that what you're doing, Kay? And then like they have to go fuck off, and it's like, you know what? We're over. This is it. I'm done with you. I'm leaving, and like gotta part ways. And then somehow somebody gets in trouble or danger, and they somehow got to come back together again to defeat the whatever problem is. And I'm just like, that like played out like we have to separate and then eventually come back before the final battle thing is in every movie everywhere. I am so happy that this movie does not fucking do that. Not once do they at all in the entire time play like, okay, there was a point where Sonic's like, wait, why would you ever want to leave Green Hills? Green Hills is your home. You're abandoning your home. And he was like, what are you talking about? I'm not abandoning my home. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what you're doing. I can't believe you. Why would you want to do that? But then like, they then run into a problem with Robotnik, and then there's an explosion and a very like, oh, Sonic, wake up moment. And then it's like, okay, then the fix and whatever, but they're still like together during this time. And then eventually he's like, you know what? If you want to move off to San Francisco, you can definitely do that. And he's like, well, thanks, Sonic. I appreciate that. You know what? You live your life. It's perfectly fine, man. I shouldn't get in the way of you. I'm trying to leave anyway, but I guess it's your life, man. Don't worry about it. He's like, oh, okay, cool. So they don't ever have that like big breakup. There's a little bit of an argument, but it's not like bad. In fact, when he wakes back up again, it's like, oh yeah, like nothing's wrong. Nothing's a problem. There's no previous problem that happened just before we got into that last fight or whatever,
Okay, so there was like no buddy breakup or some shit.
Yeah, nothing.
Glad to see that was not a thing.
It's just such a played out trope,
Yeah. Oh man. You know what movies really perpetuate that? Hallmark movies.
Ugh.
That's all my mother watches. I love my mom. She can watch whatever she wants. I don't care. She can watch all the Hallmark movies she wants because she's my mom. Whatever. But damn it, it's the same movie every fucking time.
Oh, I believe it.
And they recycle like the same set of like 20 They recycle like the same set of 20 actors every single time.
Kate, have you seen the one about that one business lady that is so dedicated to her career that then has to go to a local tiny small town and then ends up meeting this guy that is a small handyman tech guy, and then he actually teaches her the meaning of Christmas?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, every fucking time. Every movie. Every fucking movie, it does that same thing. So, like, woman from the city is forced by some circumstances, forced to move into the boonies somewhere, and then she meets like some guy who's really down to earth, and he brings her down to earth with him, and blah 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 blah. Fuck you. And it's like, damn, I didn't really think the city was that bad of a place. I didn't think the city was that bad of a place to live and work and, have like an actual career. It's like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my God. It's so tropey. Like it's tropey to call it a trope, but it is. It's just so gross.
And yet they pump out like 3 of them a year or some shit.
Hey, man.
Granted,
bills.
Yeah. Well, I mean, granted, the things are probably, as far as movies go, they're probably easy as piss to make.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Like I said, it's like it's like a set of 20 different actors that are playing the same roles over and over and over again, and that's just the way it's going to be. It's just weird. So whatever. I mean, like I said, I don't care how many Hallmark movies my mother watches. She can watch as many as she wants. I'm just not like a huge fan of them. There's a few diamonds in the rough, but It's only a few.
I mean, that's the same way I feel about my dad constantly watching Big Bang Theory reruns at night. I'm like, yeah, it's the mentality that it's like, hey, it's the only thing, it's the thing that's on, and it's whatever, and it's funny, and it's just something that you can watch at the end of the day. But at the same time, I'm like, you've seen this 1,000 times. It's not even that funny. Get out of here. Go watch Netflix. You have a 4K Fire Stick plugged into this TV. Watch Grand Tour. Go watch The Hunters on Amazon or whatever.
Not sponsored.
Whatever. Anyway, I see that we're coming up to just shy of an hour and a half or a little over an hour of recording.
Yep.
I think we covered up enough of today. Okay, what do you think?
I think we covered just perfect. And once again, there never ceases to amaze me how we go from, like the beginning, it's like, oh, we only have a few things to talk about. But as we start, we keep going. And eventually we're at our time limit.
I could go on for like another hour, but I know that recording is about to become real complicated in a couple of minutes, so we might as well cut it off here.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, so everybody, thank you so incredibly much for tuning in, for listening. Feel free to leave comments down below in the YouTube video. We will look at all of them that we can, and tweet us at Mummified Tony on Twitter, at Kiryoku Writes on Twitter, at Maybe Pile Pod on Twitter, and use hashtag AskTheMaybePile on Twitter to ask us questions, and we will do our best to answer them on air.
Heck yeah, dude.
I think I actually got it all right this time. Did I not?
Other than the little bit of a stumble about what the show's Twitter handle is, 100%.
Thank you. Yay. I feel all prideful. Now my lads are my lads are trying to get me back on the PlayStation 4, so I'm gonna yeet on out of here. Thank you everybody so much for listening. Tony, do you have anything else to say before we say our goodbyes?
Soft tacos are better than hard tacos.
I don't have anything to respond to that.
See ya! Bye!